John Maxwell wrote a book, Thinking for a Change. Here's 7 questions that will help you think differently about your business. And the intended outcome here is to have a healthier business and a happier you. So here's question 1. If you had to double your revenue in the next 12 months, how could you make that happen? Not how would you, because you don't know yet. You haven't thought about this yet. But how could you make it happen? This is intended to be a provocative question to make you think differently about your business than you've thought about it before. And this question usually gets 1 of 2 responses. Either an eye roll that says that's a ridiculous question, completely impossible, or just a laugh like, wow, never thought about that before. It's intended to make you think differently. Open your eyes to possibilities of things that you haven't seen before. What could you do? What would you stop doing in your business that's distracting you? Where can you sharpen your focus and get more clarity? If you had to double your business in the next 12 months, what could you do to make that happen? Here's a second question. What's one thing that you do simply because you've always done it that way? And if you were starting your business today from scratch, you would choose not to do that thing. Too often, the table of life, the table of our business is cluttered with things that have made their way to the table because at one time they were working and at some point they stopped working, but we still choose to do them because it seems easier to just keep doing them than to stop doing them. I have a friend named Chip, and a couple years ago, Chip cleared his table, as it were, his desk, of all his processes, of everything that was working for him well, and he only put back on the table the processes that worked, and he only improved the processes that made sense to improve, and everything else he left off the table. He was doing well in business before, but do you know his business took off in the next 4 weeks? Why? Because his clarity was sharpened, his focus was sharpened. He was paying attention to the things that served him and his clients the most. So what are you doing that you're simply doing because you've always done it that way? Stop doing it. Third question. In what way is your business life interfering with your personal life? Maybe you want to get home at 5. Maybe you want to go home at 6. Maybe you want to go to your kid's ball game every Thursday or Saturday, whenever it is. But your business, you've allowed your business to become such a monster that it now interferes with that stuff. What's one thing you could do to change that? Could you do that today? Could you do that now? Is it a phone call away? It's not just enough to set boundaries. Got to honor those boundaries. There's a big distinction there. Number 4, if you could change only one thing in your business, what would it be? I'm sure you have a list of 10, 15, 100 things in your business that you wish you could change, but if it's just one thing, what would it be? And there's 2 very common responses to this one. If only I had better customers, life would be easy. The second one is, if only I had better employees. These employees drive me nuts. Well, I would like to remind you that you choose your customers and you choose your employees. And if you want those to change, you can change them. It might not be easy. You might have to say no to some tough decisions. It might take a little while to transition to a different type of client or to have a different process to hire, to recruit, to train your employees, but you could change that. So don't write off this question just because it's my employees or my customers. You are in control. Take extreme ownership for your business, for your life. Question number 5. Where do you want your business to be in 6 months or 2 years? Are the things you're doing today helping you get closer to that goal or get further from that goal? The outcomes we get in the future are because of the decisions we make today. Question number 6. Who's one person you would like to get advice from? If you could snap your finger and have somebody sitting right next to you right now, and you could ask them one question, who would that person be? And let's be honest, that person might have passed away. That person might be from history, might be from the past. But you know about that person because somebody's told you something about that person or you've read about that person. You still have access to that person even if you can't do it face-to-face in person. Books are wonderful ways to ask people questions. I don't get to sit here and ask John a question, but I've read enough about his stuff that I can imagine if I ask him the question I want to ask him, I imagine what he might say. And sometimes it's enough. Napoleon Hill had this exercise where he had his own personal counsel. I forget what he called it. But he would close his eyes and he would say, George Washington, if you had this problem, what would you do? And he would imagine what George Washington might say. And it's a fantastic way to think for a change, to think differently about your situation from somebody else's perspective, even if they're not right there with you. And if it's somebody who's alive, I would love to talk to John Maxwell. There are people that I know that are in his organization that I can do to make that happen. 7th question, why did you not make less money in the last 12 months? So many people are focused on why didn't I make more money in the last 12 months? And this is a provocative question that I got from Rich Litvin. Why did you not make less money in the last 12 months? It forces us to recognize that we are doing things to make money. They may not be the things that we want. They may not be the things that are working the way we want them to, but we are doing things to make money. Why didn't you make less money in the last 12 months? One of my clients is a musician, plays a lot of gigs, and he commented that in the last 12 months, his revenue per gig has increased by 50 to 100%. He's getting paid 1.5 to 2 times what he was getting paid last year from the same type of gigs. I said, why is that? He said, I started asking for more money. I knew what my value was. I knew what my worth was. And I was willing for them to say no. Why did he not make less money in the last 12 months? Because he started asking for more money. He started commanding, that's the word I was looking for. He started commanding his worth. So why did you not make less money in the next 12 months? And what insight does that give you about how to increase your revenue in the next 12 months? So those 7 questions, you don't have to answer all 7 of them, maybe just one of them. One of them might give you an insight that changes your life and turns your business around, or just moves it a slight bit to make it a little more in line with who you want to be in life. Have a great day.